it's fascinating if you actually pause and look around your life and people in your life, and you realize how many stories there are about money. I gave a TED talk a few years ago. You can look it up, The Great Investor in You. And I gave this talk to a group of students in California. And the big message behind it was everybody should be an investor. Everybody could be an investor. The big message is that, to me, being an investor, it means that you own businesses. And the world I operate in is focused on the stock market. And I see the stock market not as a casino, but as a place where you can go and buy small pieces of businesses. That's what I see stocks as. So you have the Coca-Colas of the world and Pepsi and any brand you can think of in your life, it's probably on the stock exchange. I don't think everybody has to be an investor in the sense that they have to choose the Coca-Colas of the world and decide which one is good, if the price is right, if the economy is in the right spot, and so on. So there are passive ways to participate in the market, and you can become an investor. So it means that you own 500 or 1,000 of the largest global companies. And if they do well, you do well. Over long periods of time, if you patiently invest even regularly a small amount of money, it will compound to a large amount of money. It's a very simple idea, but it's very hard to execute because we all want to second guess our choices. We want to go in when our neighbors are getting richer than we are. And then we want to speculate some more, then we panic, we take the money out. But if you could truly automate it and put $100 or $1,000 now and then in the least emotional way, I think that's one of the easiest paths to grow wealth. But if you really have to take a step back and ask yourself, where would that money come from? And I think that's the biggest question that some of you were bringing up today, which is you make $1,000 and you spend $1,000 at the end of the month or whichever currency you operate in, and the money is gone. And usually we actually have the needs for about $1,500 and only $1,000 coming in. I think a lot of people can relate to that. So the challenge is, how do I rearrange and organize my life so that I make $1,500, but I really need only $1,000 and I have the $500 left, right? So whichever way the math works in your life, you have to be very honest with yourself and find a way that at the end of the month, at the end of the year, there's something left. And if there's something left, then we can start thinking about investing it. And to be really honest with yourself, I think the very first step is to have some sort of security. And you can define it in various ways. It could be 6 months of life expenses saved. The minute you have a couple of months, let's say half a year of your expenses saved, and it's sitting in the bank, it's earning a small interest, it's not invested, but it's just sitting there. And your boss walks up to you and you have a very bad conversation with them. And you can say, you know what? I'm done. I'm walking away because I have 6 months saved and I can go look for something and I have 6 months to find something else, right? You might never use that card, but just because you have it in your pocket, it's a very powerful thing. Now imagine having a year of expenses saved. You can really wait almost a year to find the next opportunity. Some sudden expenses come up, it's not a problem. You can take care of it, right? So think of it as building blocks. I think of this as kind of an escape velocity, like a rocket leaving Earth to space. So your first escape velocity is spending less than you make. You can't escape it. That's the first thing you have to do. You have to spend less than you make, even if it's just $100. And just by creating that kind of habit and paying yourself first, the $100 has to be there no matter what. You start building something. And when you have the 6 months or a year, then you can really start thinking about investing. And even if it's in a very automated way that you put it in a passive fund, and we can talk more about it, it's not what I do, but I think it's a nice first step into building your wealth.